I support this channel. So make sure you sign up for that. You can use your Twitch ID, just log in through that just to show your support for this channel, and hopefully we get some more tournaments for you guys like this. We have them once a week, so we appreciate everyone so far. So let's get into our games. So spawning in our bottom position, it is our blue Terran player under the alias of Light. It is Invasion Major.
Yeah, and as we can see, there's an early SCV making its way across the map, but his opponent up to the top right, making his way into the finals for a second time in a row here, looking to defend his title. It is going to be the Red Zerg Cham, and it looks like just a single proxy.
Yeah, single proxy is what's going to be Barracks. Yeah, so it's going to be Barracks, and look at this Overlord.
Yeah, that's
perfect scout position, perfect. Just like, I don't know if Cham thinking, okay, I just saw you, because Cham was watching the games when he was when Major was playing against Pili Pili, saw how many proxies there were, and goes, okay, I bet you're going to proxy again. And look at that, Cham is going to see it, and he's going to see it here in the next couple of seconds. And there he goes. He sees it and goes, damn, what a great scout, what a great prediction from Cham. And Major's got to be like, you have got to be kidding. How do you know this? How do you see it? But at the same time, Cham just saw Major proxy Pili 3 times in a row, essentially, so he's like, okay, I know what you do. I've seen you do it before.
Yeah, the thing is, it's not that much of a worry right now for Major, because at the same time, it's a single barracks. There's no units on the field, to kill it, because he didn't even send a worker down to fight the SCV, so he's not that worried. And it's only going to be, a Reaper at a time, so it's just a little bit of a shorter rush distance. And overall, like, one Rax proxy doesn't really feel that amazing, in my opinion, because the barracks is going to have to fly all the way back home, and that loses a lot of production time, because this could be capitalized on. Cham could build a ton of Zerglings, get Zergling speed, and just try and bust his opponent, and there's not going to be that much to defend. Especially considering he's producing Marines now from that barracks.
Yeah, exactly. And he's like, okay, but Reaper did do a lot of damage, as we can see. The SCV is trying to fight as well. Look, he's trying to corner out these the drones. I'm like, that's kind of cool. Just the SCV is just joining the fight. This Reaper has to be, carefully microed around, because he is on creep. So the speedlings, or excuse me, this lings.
Oh no! He got a second worker with the SCV. Technically, the SCV killed them both.
That's so great.
Yeah. It's efficient, Like, if that SCV wasn't here, he would have still got 1 kill, but the SCV's life is justified by getting that second one. So we have to be a little bit careful fighting the Queen down to 8 health, so 1 more shot would kill it off. And, the third is in production right now. The barracks is flying home. And Major's taken up to that starport with a reactor into the factory. So maybe, I'm feeling like it's going to be Hellbats.
Yeah, we haven't seen that kind of Hellbat play yet, but at the same time, we haven't seen that many Terrans. It's only been Cham, or excuse me, a Major. But against Zerg, Hellbats could do a lot of damage, especially with these maps, especially with Cham taking that third base the way he did, or where it is, just how the map is built. So Hellbats, Hellions, some kind of, drive-by flame shooting, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, he's producing the Hellions. There's a Liberator, which is no surprise. So he's going to, go a bit more aggressive. It can still be Hellbats, but it's, it's uncertain. Oh, there's the armory, so yeah, it should be Hellbats, Liberator, and probably a Evac to follow it up. The Reaper did get picked off, and we have, 4 Zerglings just running around the map, seeing what they can get done. The 2 Hellions at the front of the third here should be able to kill those off if they do push. But yeah, this is going to be, the armory's a little bit sooner, because you want, 6 Hellions at least. And he's gonna only just about have 4 by the time they finish.
Yeah, and like you said, with more Hellions being pushed out, and the Liberator is gonna go float across the map as well. These Hellions are gonna push up, and the army is about to finish, so these are gonna turn into Hellbats. And with them Hellbats with the Liberator supporting and take out the Queens, I don't know what Cham's gonna be able to do to defend. He doesn't have everything up. He's gonna have roaches, yeah, but he's not going to have roaches in time. The roaches are going to finish here in the next 30 seconds, but these Hellbats are just going to take out these Queens, take out the Lings, and he's going to get in the drone line. Once he gets to the drone line, he's just going to start wrecking.
Yeah, the only thing is, though, they're super slow. Like,
Yep.
so the workers just kind of run away. The Liberator is going to maybe siege up on that natural base, so it can get in this position. There's some damage. The Queen could maybe pick it off. We have Ravages morphing in as well, so they'll help with the Liberator. But we have 4 kills now onto that Liberator. Hellbats are really doing a lot of damage to this hatchery though, and actually they might be able to get this if they focus fire. Queen has enough energy for a transfuse right now. She does drop it the last second, and she does get chased down instead. And oh, a couple of workers idle on that ramp. They're not going to survive very long as the roaches will stop the Hellbats running up. But Hellbats still do okay against roaches. It's kind of scary to see sometimes.
Yep. And this Liberator's still in the back corner here, just focusing down a little bit. The Ravengers finish it off. Now they're Hellions, and they're still roasting drones here at this third base for Cham. And he's not doing anything to defend it. He's gotten, what, 2 kills off of that? There's probably about multiple workers have died so far for Cham. And Cham's is being pulled apart here, a little piece by piece, Hellions, Hellbats, and Liberators. So I think, he's got 10, 15 workers killed total so far. And not to mention the delayed mining time with this hatchery on its last leg. I mean, that hatchery needs to get transfused like crazy. And personally, I would morph it up into a layer and just get more HP on it going. But it's not here nor there. And Major's definitely in control of this map.
Definitely. Like, the hatchery should be fine now. Like, if it dies at this point, it's because, like, Major's, like, going for the killing move, pretty much. So it's not too much of a worry for him. But yeah, like, he's killed a lot of workers. And a couple of overloads are also getting sniped by these Liberators. Stim's about to finish up as well in a few seconds. We have 1-1 for the Terran. The Evos have finished up, and okay, they do start the 1-1 upgrades as well. So at least the Zerg is not going to be too far behind on upgrades here. But still, like, the follow-up from Major is going to be pretty brutal. Pretty brutal. And I think my co-caster might have just lagged out again slightly. I can't tell. Yes, he did. Feedback? Oh no, sorry, that is... So yeah, that's a bit unfortunate. Like, hopefully, like, he's already dropped once, and he was back by the next map, so hopefully we'll be okay. Unfortunately, though, because he dropped, I can't... Normally, if the players drop, you can look around the screen, but I cannot. So it's nice to analyze what's going on. Of course, as it stands, you can look at the supply and be like, oh, Major's down by 13 supplies. He's in a tough spot. But right now, he's powering. As you can see in the production tab, we have 3 reactors. And, oh, actually, he does leave, so now I can look around. We have 3 reactors. One of those is onto the factory. So once these finish up, his production, he's going to be able to produce a lot of units. And you see him overtake the Zerg fairly easily, I would say. It'll be like 140 supply, be like 120 in the Terran's favor, roughly, by the time they hit that. So Scan does get dropped up within the main base. Liberator's been an absolute nuisance here. Again, another overload kill. The 4th base was not scouted, and Liberator might maybe see that. There is a double medevac drop loaded up towards the main of the Zerg here, and this is going to get a lot of damage done. A lot of damage. There are a couple of Ravagers which help out. 2 workers getting sniped. Ooh, great medevac snipe there from the Ravagers, but still, workers getting picked off. Ravagers don't have much health, so the Marines annihilate them. And what's he focused in? Okay, gets the Ravager, picks up the last of the units. GG does get close. There was... I can't see it now, but there was 2 Liberators sieged at that back base. And they were destroying the workers there. They had like 10 kills each. Sorry, no, about 10 kills total, maybe 15. So yeah, Major wins that quite convincingly, like pretty much off the back of that Hellbat aggression with the Liberators, which is just a build-up I've not really seen too much. Like, medevacs are always somewhat a little bit better because they do allow you to heal and keep fighting. But Liberators can also pull the Zerg apart and force him to defend on multiple fronts, which can hurt him that way as well. So I guess there's a trade-off there. I have to make the game here, so I'm going to just look at this. The webcam's on my second monitor, but I don't look at it that much. So the second map is going to be Lariak Crest. And we are also opening this, or playing with the Game Heart mod, which makes life so much easier. Like, the best factor about the Game Hard mod is, of course, like, it lets you show you the workers, the countdown for upgrades, and then of course the drops. Once a medevac is fully loaded, it does get a notification. All right, so this get everyone invited. And we will begin game number 2 in just a second. So that's till the Draven. I should have invited you.
Nothing yet.
Sometimes this is really. Wait, light. Come on, Major. Come on. All right, so we have the correct races. That's very good. Sometimes, you know, you'll have a player as the wrong player. And TVZ, Lariat Crest, match history is non-existent, which is very important because the players hate that. Players absolutely hate when their match history is
being viewed, being there. All right, guys. So spawn. So what was the results from the first?
All right. So Major went for a drop and pretty much won it with that drop. It was a 2 medevac drop with 2 liberators also hitting the back natural. And yeah, he done a ton of economic damage, and Cham just kind of bowed out.
Nice.
Just 1-0 in Major's favor for this best of 5.
Nice, awesome. So spawning in our top right position is our guy that's up ahead 1 game. It is our teal Terran player, Major.
And his opponent, spawning down to the bottom left, representing OE Gaming or something. It is going to be Cham, and he is the slightly darker blue in this match here.
So Cham's going for that early scout with the drone. He doesn't want to get proxied again. He doesn't want to have any kind of cheese. And so he's just going to go and sacrifice that drone and try to get as much scouting as he can. And we do see that Major's not going for that proxy. Even though he is ahead, he's been doing proxies all tournament. He's just going. It looks like he's going for a semi-standard play this time.
Yeah. Like, I can imagine he's going to go standard pretty much every game unless he goes like hyper-aggressive cheesy. Or like for an early all-in, early game all-in. I can imagine he's just going to play very macro. I think he kind of knows that Major is a little bit of the superior player here. And he kind of knows that, you know, Terrans are the ones that kind of open up the aggression. They're the ones who start it. So he's just going to, you know, play like a Zerg, chill back, macro up, wait for the attack and try to defend it.
Ooh, and we do see Cham going for a 3 hatcheries. You know, his pool is about to finish, but as playing against a Terran player where you might get super reapered, you know, a super reapered. I don't know if that's a thing. Super reapered, but it's so risky going 3 hatch before even having a queen out. I mean, but in the end, it might pay off for him if he gets a good economy going and gets a lot of roaches out. It stops any kind of reaper, hellbat, hellion, liberator, any kind of that super early aggression. It'll pay off for him in the end, but you know, Major doesn't look like he's going to go for any kind of harassment with the Reapers. We do see that barracks going straight into a factory. Might be like a Hellbat push, like normal, but
yeah.
And here comes that Reaper, and that Reaper's going to do a lot of damage. There's nothing on the field. There's no speed increase for, you know, Zerg. There's no extra Zergling. It's just that 1 Reaper.
Yeah, we do have the Queens popping now though, so they should just be enough, because you know they have the same range, so they should just be enough to zone it out. But the Reaper's going to scout that third base, which is good for him, so he knows exactly what his opponent's going for. As for builds that the Terran does do, this is a very popular tank drop map. Because then, you know, that's still a thing at the moment until the patch kicks in. But you go for tank drops, and it, like, normally it's just sometimes 1 tank by itself in a medevac flying around, and then you execute a strategy revolving normally around 3 tanks. Like, that doesn't guarantee it's going to happen, but that's normally what we do see, and we can see the first tank is in production as the reactor. Oh, sorry, the tech lab finishes up on that factory, but 2 worker kills. Nicely done here by this Reaper. Yeah, I got 2 Zergling kills as well, so it's 150 resources lost there. The Rotorn is in production as Zergling speed does start as well, but Yeah, I think it's going to be some tank drops and stuff. Because this is a good map.
Yeah, and tank drops are super annoying, especially if you get into these corners that were on certain parts of the map where you could just get a tank drop in a corner and just focus down one of the natural hatcheries. It gets super annoying, super frustrating to deal with. And I remember 2 seasons ago, if I remember correctly, when tank drops were a thing, that one map, I forgot the name of it, that had like that random cliff tower that you can put a tank on that you can't see. You have to have like aerial vision of it, so an overlord has to be above it. And,
yeah.
and so what they would do is they'll drop a tank there, and then an SUV will be there, and then build a missile turret. So you can never get a high ground vision of it because the turret would stop the overlords from coming, and it would just and you could it targeted both the main and the natural mineral line. It was like the dumbest thing ever.
Yeah, the strategies like that can be really heavily abused. But we have the tank getting dropped. This is circling speed about to finish up. A little bit of an interesting fact: the countdown on the right-hand side is Blizzard time, not real time, I believe. Just slightly off because it shows at 15 seconds, and then if you look at the upgrade, it has 10 seconds left. Yep. Just in case you don't know, because I noticed that before. But we have a lot of seconds in production. It looks like he's Cham gonna try and execute maybe a borderline all-in strategy here. He's sending the roaches directly across the map, not using them to defend, and of course we have 20 seconds in production. So, and Ravagers are morphing in on top of that. So yeah, he is gonna execute a strategy here. This is going to be a bit difficult. We have 2 tanks, so nice defensive posture for Major, especially as he continues just barreling down at these units. But the units are already here. The bunkers are not complete. The Ravagers, they get the SCV building the bunker as well, so that is not going to complete, and that will finish up. Major is going to take a lot of damage here. He's down by 40 supply already.
Yeah, so with the tanks are trying to get macroed back, but with these Ravagers and the corrosive biles, they're focusing down the tanks. It looks like they get one tank, and there's that other tank is half health. He's gonna try to macro down. Now he's on the low ground, but he's still able to, attack up essentially. And these Ravagers are just gonna try to stay right on top of these tanks. The SUVs are getting pulled. Corrosive Bile is gonna land on top of the SUVs as well. Almost hits the tank, and it just looks like he's finishing up. There's so much damage getting done. Cham is just really being aggressive with this first wave of attacks. And that one tank, that tank though is the saving grace. I mean, that tank has got 10 kills off it. The Corrosive Bile is trying to come down, trying to focus it down a little bit more, but these Lings are doing so much damage. The Lings alone are doing the damage. I mean, these Ravagers are distracting the tank, and almost gets the last bit of Corrosive Bile hit off it. Tanks are going to finish up the Ravagers. Lings get in, and here it goes. I think this is going to be it. The Lings are surrounded, GG gets called, and Cham takes it. Game number 2. Wow, what a convincing fashion. I mean, it's best way to counter tanks is just to counterattack.
Pretty much. Like, that was a good read there. Like I kind of said, I was expecting, if he did go for an all-in, I was expecting like a bit of a low-tier one, like he didn't have road speed, for example. But let me just grab the second map. It is going to be Orbital. And I think he kind of knew what build was coming out of Major there. He's like, you're going to come attack me with tanks. You're going to play greedy because that was 3 bases. And you're slowly producing units, which can get overrun. Like tanks can easily get overrun. And he just goes for it. Like, that was really, really good build there. Okay, so let's get all the players in here. Now the commentators. And the observers.
More importantly, the players.
And then Scarlet, the friendly in-game observer. I wonder if she's giving tips. I wonder if she knows one of them.
I'm sure she does. I mean, I would assume she knows Major, if anything.
Yeah. I don't know, like, he Major's more in the pro scene, so... Alright, let's see. Ready?
Is it? Oh, it's lobby, that's right.
Yeah, I hate that. I hate it. I hate changing chats. Sometimes you don't even realize you just like type into a different chat. I've done that a bunch of times. Don't forget, guys, put exclamation point Matterino in the chat for the bot to post you the link. When you're on Matterino, I know like people are like, oh, I can't be bothered. But when you're in Matterino, you just log in with Twitch, hit like join this event or something, hit donate, put Filthy7 as the code, and you contribute an extra $1 for this tournament, which technically you're giving 75% to the winner and 25 cents to the loser. So, for a couple of actions, you might as well, right? It really
and it's free.
Yeah. But here we are jumping into game number 3 of this best of 5. Down to the bottom left, representing OE, we have Cham as the blue Zerg.
And spawning into our top right position, it is our Terran player. Wow, Terran red player. It is Major. And we do see he's doing something interesting with this SUV. He's a barracks in the weirdest position ever, and this Overlord's going to scout it. That's the weirdest position for that barracks, and that Overlord's scouting it, and just everything. Everything's weird.
Yeah, he's just... He must be one of those players who probably just lost to... he's probably lost to Major a few too many times thanks to proxies. He's like, I'm not having it. Not in a tournament game here.
Yep.
And you do get people like that. They'll somewhat, affect their economy or their slight build order just to get something like the scout out. And it benefits him. Like, can't complain. But once again, like game number 1, it's a single barracks. He can't shut it down. He's not able to kill the SCV, so it's not stopped. But he just has the information to know that it's coming and can prepare a little bit better.
Yeah, so we do see what this barracks is going to be a Reaper, and it's just to get that Reaper in the base a lot quicker. The spawning pool is nowhere near done, so that means Lings are going to be not out in time and definitely not Queen. So I think this Reaper is going to be able to do a lot of damage. If anything, it's going to be able to just do a lot of delayed mining and a lot of harassment. So this Reaper, we'll see how much this Reaper is going to do. The spawning pool finishes, so the 2 Lings and a Queen pop out should be enough to stop the Reaper, but I think the Reaper is going to have a field day for the next 10 seconds.
Yeah, definitely. Just drop the KDA charges. Like, they can make a huge difference with how much extra damage you can actually get.
So the Lings do pop out, but it's only 2 Lings. I mean, this Reaper should be able to kite around these Lings. Now there's 4, but the KD charges should be able to clean up in that SUV. Where did that SUV go? The SUV got kind of picked off. Okay.
Yeah,
but like we said before, look at the Reaper. Oh, missed it.
Oh,
so the Reaper did get 1 kill off the Lings. Going to get that 2nd kill, I think. Yep.
Yeah,
and there we go.
The next one after that, yeah.
But this Queen's out now. There's the good defensive, and so that Reaper unfortunately wasn't able to do that much. I think it was just more for harassment. But this Marine, this hero Marine, is going to take out that Overlord, which is supply blocking is just annoying, especially for Zerg. I mean, that's my friend would joke calling that the Draven Overlord, because when I used to start playing like Wings of Liberty, I would lose my Overlord within the first 2 minutes every game, and so you called it the Draven Overlord when you lose your Overlord so quick like that. So Reaper coming in, doing some more harassment, just being annoying little Reaper.
Gets an extra Zergling. It's killed 1 worker overall, which is nice. Getting the Zerglings definitely helps, and also the fact that it's between Major and the Zerg, right? So it's like he knows he doesn't have to worry about being attacked. The barracks is also flying home. He's on the starport now, and the barrack, or the factory rather, is going for a reactor here. So it's probably going to be Hellions as they do start being produced. The Roach Horn does get added on by the Zerg though, and he has his Zergling speed.
Yeah, so we do have the Zergling speed, like you're finishing, like you said. We do have roaches coming down, but at the same time, Cham has not been able to drone up on this 3rd base. He has this base here, but he hasn't been able to do much. This Reaper's been kind of zoning out the drones. He's about to get that drone, maybe almost snipes that creep timber, throws a KD charge on it, almost gets it, but it finishes just in time. So that Reaper is just being more harassment, but Cham has just not been able to max out on his 3rd base, so it's kind of useless at the moment. Yeah, it's producing the larva and stuff, but I mean, these Hellions come in and roast everything.
Yeah, Zergling speed finished up just as the last one died, and the Workers is going to have to get pulled. So he is going to be able to get some damage here, because Queens don't take care of Hellions that quickly. One of them does take a lot of damage, but still, like, that's a great trade there. He kills an extra 3 Workers, and yeah, he's killed 10 Zerglings with an Overlord, so that's a lot of early game damage for not much investment. We have the Liberators about to head towards the main base. The Reaper jumps up into the main as well to get that information. I don't know why exactly. And we have 3 Ravagers waiting for that Liberator as well, so they can Corrosive Bile it.
Yep. So we do see like the 7 or 6 Lings on top of these Hellions. One of these Hellions about to get picked off, which is great. These Hellions are going to get zoned out. There's nothing much they're going to be able to do against these Ravagers. The range of the Ravagers alone are just going to zone out the Hellions. But the Hellions might run in, but they almost had that chance, but they decided to back off. And I think Cham's going to be able to hold this. He's going to finally be able to get that base up and running. And then the rest of the Ravagers is going to zone out these Liberators. Liberators zone up in there, and here it comes. And that's it. Doesn't get any kills. and almost gets up a Cham, just has that defense. He's playing super patiently, but there is a Liberator on this third base that's focusing down. Almost gets picked off, but they're. I think they're tank, whatever it's called, though, when they
siege mode. I just call them
siege mode. Yeah, when they siege mode, I personally think it should be a little bit slower, but that's just me and my Terran or my Zerg tiers, as I call them, or as Damon calls them, just the Zerg tiers. They unsiege very quickly.
They can, like, they don't have the biggest of siege ranges, so I think that's a fair trade-off. Like, if you had like really like siege up like a mile away, then I think that would definitely be justified. We have 1-1 in production for the Terran. Only +1 carapace right now for the Zerg, so I don't know if he has a single Evo. No, he has 2, but he's just not utilizing it. And he's going to siege up here at the natural. He is going to maybe get a queen. It does get sniped. And he needs to... Oh, he's dead.
Yeah. There's another Liberator on top of this, and so I think what Cham needs to start doing is get some spores out and starts doing as much damage as he can to these guys, because these Liberators are just sieging up, getting a couple kills, snipes a queen, and then takes off.
Yeah, it can be a massive nuisance. I was just laughing at one of the bile shots hit the Bane nest. I just found that funny.
And it takes damage, like you do damage to yourself. It's so whatever.
I like it, but same with KDA charges now and siege tanks plus disruptors. So I like that. You know, it adds in
You can't just mindlessly throw it. You have to like be conscious of where you're doing.
Okay, these Hellions. Oh, one does get surrounded. Second one need to get picked up, but okay, the Zerglings run into the pack of Marines. They didn't stim for that. They have stim, no combat shields, as that is 25 seconds away. So he's doing a timing based around the combat shield, but he's going to lose a couple of Marines as they are on creep and stuck against a tough wall there.
Yeah, so this Bile army with only 2 medevacs is not going to be able to save all this. He might get this round with some Banes on it, but his Marines are doing such a good job kiting it back. And he's trying to save this. Cham wants this 4th base up. At the same time, Major is trying to focus it down and try to stop him from doing it. It's almost going to get it, but he's going to sacrifice his entire army, and there he goes. So the medevacs pick up what they can to save. And I think this base is going to finish, but I mean, this base is only with about 30% health left. And once this base finishes, I think Major's going to come in and focus it down and going to get it. I don't think he's going to be able to hold this, especially not with this another swell of bio coming in with these 2 tanks and more medevacs. I mean, this is a huge army coming for Cham's 4th base.
He is going to have Bane on speed, though. It's only a few seconds away from finishing up. Major's not getting his 2-2 because his army is not completed. And we have +1 carapace finished up for the Zerg. His melee's about halfway done, and he is getting his +2 carapace, which is a nice upgrade advantage there once it finishes. But the 4th does get sniped, like you said, the Blue-Bins. Just pretty much getting suicided there, as a worker is stuck between the Banelands. It gets picked off, and the Banelands start rolling in. The tanks are at the back.
Yeah, the tanks are at the back. They're zoning out this Zerg army. I mean, Cham could throw all these Lings and Banes at this army, but it won't do anything on top of those tanks. So right now, Major is just zoning out the creep spread, stopping that creep from being spread. Zoning out the creep spread, stopping that creep from being spread. Wow, that was a redundant statement. Zoning out that creep and just stopping this 4th base. I mean, Champ is going for that 4th base again, and I think Major's going to snipe it again. Look at this army that Major has back at his base. I mean, it's just such an aggressive army.
Yeah, and this is just like the first part. Like, there's a huge second army behind this, but it does get pushed back because, you know, like the entirety of the Zerg is here to do that. And the Zerg does have a nice 30 supply advantage. The full CC is in production right now, about nearly halfway done. So Major is going to be able to take his force quite soon, but he hasn't destroyed the rocks. So, you know, saturating it, defending it could get a little bit tricky if those are still. Oh my god, but the Baneland hits. Oh, sorry, the tank hits. Gotta be so careful, but there's a couple of crufters. They're going to zone out the medevacs with the tanks.
Yeah, but the problem is there's no creep, and these Banes are just going to they're getting picked off so quickly. And here comes more tanks on top of this, and this army just gets completely melted. And look at that bile left. I mean, there's nothing left for Cham. Cham calls GG, and Major takes it 2-1 with a convincing fashion. I mean, he was playing with half his army at first, and so Cham thought he was ahead, and all of a sudden this huge bile comes out of nowhere and just completely runs over Cham's army, and Major takes it. Good games, man. Good back and forth so far from both players.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, Major didn't do that much damage with his early game of harassment, but really good position in there. Like tanks. The thing is, when you have Zerglin, Bane, Roach, and like even Ravager for that matter, like you can't engage, you can't even get close to the tanks without taking damage, losing units. So, he's a bit back and forth, like a bit undecided, losing units each time he couldn't make up his mind. And not only does he lose positioning, he loses units, and it kind of snowballs to the fact that you saw where you just see Major in a massive supply lead. Because like you can't, like, Major's one of those people you don't want to give him like an inch because he'll take like a mile.
Exactly.
And like he kicked ass. What the hell is Scarlet? Scarlet, where are you?
Yeah, so that was game 3. So this is match point for Major. So a lot of pressure is on Cham right now to finish this off and to keep it into game number 4. So we are going to be jumping into, what map is it? Did I read? Ruins of Ceres. Yeah, this is going to be a pretty intense match. I think. Oh, that's you. I was like, is Major going random? But then I realized that's you out there.
Oh, shit. Yeah, oh, crap, I just saw as well. My bad. I was too busy worrying about Scarlet, because she's in game.
She's just playing some random game right now?
No, I don't know if I don't think she left the last game. So she might have, gone to get something to eat. But... the game has ended. We're ready to go, and she's still there. So, never mind. We're just waiting for Major to confirm that he is ready to start, and I will begin the countdown. Unless he's like not saying ready because he wants Scarlet here. But yeah, Ruins of Ceres now, guys. We're into a pretty much the biggest map in the map pool. One of the biggest maps we've technically ever had. I think I might actually have the most bases for a map that we've ever had. I don't think it's technically bigger than like Tal'Darim in terms of its its map size, because I think it's like 164 by 164 or something. No, maybe 164 by like 128. Let's have a look on Wikipedia. Because of course, if anyone doesn't know, like the maps of like one range is one hex. Like everyone kind of knows the hexes, the boxes. Like that's like the maps are like they have certain sizes. But wait, if you would like to do the introductions, sir?
Of course. So spawning in our bottom, where are we at? Bottom right position. Wow, right. Bottom left position. It is our blue Zerg player. He is down a game. This is match point for his opponent. So he needs to come back and win this. This is from OE. This is Cham. I don't know these names.
And his opponent up to the top left, representing Invasion Esports, we have Major. And of course, one more map win will give him the victory here. And just to answer my earlier question, it's actually a 204 by 164. It's quite large. I'm pretty sure Tal'Darim was 164 by 164.
Are the maps the same thing from StarCraft 1? Are the same pixel, like where like one of the bigger maps was 264 by 264, and then you could have the small 16 by 16 ones? Do you remember the custom maps from StarCraft 1?
Yeah, but the block sizes are still the same. Tal'Darim, for example, is 176 by 176, and the other massive one was Whirlwind.
Whirlwind, yes.
There's not too much going on right now, guys, so that's why we're kind of just making memes.
What we could do is do what Artosis and Tasis, one of my favorite duo casters of all time, next to Roddy and Athenius. I think they have good chemistry as well. But anytime I watch GSL or the Pro League, the Artosis and Tasis, they just make names up for each other. So the other night I was watching, and it was if Artosis was a popsicle, would it be Arctic Popsicle or something like that? Like if he named his own popsicle or something like that. It was so good. These guys come up with the funniest like one-liners for each other. I would write them down and I would laugh hysterically like all night. It'd be like 3 a.m. my time. I'm just like half asleep and delirious because it's 3 a.m. and I'm laughing hysterically at these guys.
Definitely. We have the first Reaper pop in, and just to answer everyone else's question, Whirlwind is 160 by 160, so this is by far the biggest map, followed by Tal'Darim. I guess like some of the older maps might have a slight comparison, but this is such a big map. And the Reaper is actually scouting cross here, so the SCV went to the top right. He's going to scout cross with the Reaper, and he's going to take as long as possible here. So that is a little bit lucky for Cham, who has gone for a very fast base out in the open, technically expanding towards his opponent, because if he knew where Major was, he probably would have taken the one to the right in the bottom right, or middle center at the bottom.
Yeah, so with Cham's positioning on this hatchery, with it being kind of closer to Major's base, I guess you want to say, would you have gone for like the position here on the bottom right as opposed to the middle one? Because I feel it's such dangerous, but at the same time you can have an offensive creep spread going north as well. So I mean, both of them are just kind of very, I don't know, it's risky on either end. I mean, you got the pros and cons for both positions, I guess.
Definitely. The biggest factor for the third that he has now is the fact that Major has to attack through that if he wants to get to the natural domain. Whereas if he took another one, it's a bit harder to defend from aggression, but if Major all-ins, it's not a risk. So that's those are pretty much your trade-offs there. We do have the Widow Mines in production from a reactor factory right now, and the starport finishing up, so we should see Medevac, where are you? There you are, in production. And of course, like, Widow Mines are not as amazing against Zergs because they can have early game detection thanks to just building spores. You don't need evos for those anymore, and yeah, like it doesn't do as much damage. Queens also have anti-air as well, so medevacs can get picked off.
Yeah, so at the same time, we do see that Cham has some decent Overlord coverage. So if a medevac does fly out, as we're going to see, I don't know if Cham's going to see it at all. So it's going to pass the one Overlord. It's going to pass the second Overlord without being scouted. So he's going to be able to get in the base pretty quickly without being seen. And then so there's nothing on the field yet for observing.
He hasn't even reacted. He doesn't even know it's unloading right now. But okay, he might start to as the Queen starts to pick away. That will trigger a response. Widowmine is going to get 3. Sorry, slight hiccups kicked in. 3 kills. The Hellions are making their way in towards the third base, so that's 4 worker kills. And the Marines are also going to unload in towards the natural, so that's extra damage. The Evo's finishing up. They're going for a counter-attack as well, which is also very important. It doesn't look like there's much to defend right now for Major. The 9 workers are going to get picked up, and now we have like a little bit of a trade fest.
Yeah, it's very interesting. These lanes get in and are going to focus on all these SUVs at the same time. These Marines, and this Queen's about to, looks like the Queen's about to pick off that medevac, and it does not get it. So there is a Queen left, and there's only 3 Marines left here in Cham's base. At the same time, where did the Lings go? Oh, the Lings got finished off by the Hellion. So there's 3 Hellions left. But I mean,
there's also a Liberator in the main. The Spore is going to burrow, but he has to get that Widowmine before it detonates. And yes, he will. Oh, and the Queen does snipe the medevac there as it flies over them. But 14 worker kills. We had 14 v9, so fairly similar trades. Cham still has the slight worker advantage, but the third C is about to finish up, and then he has the third meal. He's going to be in a good spot, and he's going to expand towards his opponent because, of course, that means the rally point will defend that third base.
And I think Liberator being able to 2-shot Ravengers is kind of...
yeah, man, it's
that's
so powerful.
A little annoying.
It's so over the top. I think Cham's all in though. He's not built workers since pretty much the aggression began, I think, and he's just building a ton of units. 2, 3, 4. His 4 might have to relocate the units again very close. There is no full wall off, and wait. Okay, there's nothing in the bunker, and he does have Marines that can fit in it. I thought there was nothing like that would go into that bunker, but Major's not prepared.
I don't know if Major knows if this army is going to be coming into his base. I mean, these Lings are going to get a good surround on that bunker, and he's just going to try to focus down on the Marines. Corrosive Bio does go off, and look at that. That army just gets completely evaporated. No more Lings left. I got some more Lings coming in with the Ravengers, Roaches, but, I mean, what is he else going to be able to do? There's nothing else that Cham is going to be able to do unless he tries to push forward and get some great Corrosive Bio hits, but I don't think it's going to happen. SUVs do try to come into the fight, but these Hellions are just cleaning up the Lings. And the Ravengers get some more good hits off it, but SUVs with this fight. Here comes a tank in this background. It's going to be underneath this command center, and I think that's going to be it.
Yeah, I don't... Like, Cham isn't going to be out of the game, though. He's... I would say they're kind of even. It's really very close.
It's hard to say, because his Liberator's still picking off the drones in the back, and the Ling just gets melted and GG gets called. Yep.
He sacked the Zerglings there. I think he was a bit wound up by that Liberator being annoying. I I think he was a bit tilted and just sent the Zerglings in there, just like, this do it. But yeah, I think he could have stayed in that because he had a nice slight worker advantage if he was building workers behind that. But yeah, like obviously the Liberator was a massive pain in the ass for him there, but still, I think that was slightly early GG. But Cham, in all fairness, he played very, very well. He gave a really good fight to Major. Like you can tell Major was stressed a little bit because they had that base race as well, essentially near enough. So yeah, I would say very well played. But congratulations to Major. He wins 75% of however much the Matcherino is at now, which last time I checked was $110. So that's it's pretty good. It's like $80, $84.
Yeah, I mean, for a weekend tournament, a couple hours of time, that's great. Major comes in, takes the title away from Cham. Cham was our reigning champion, if you want to call it that. So I think Cham has been our finalist 3 times, our winner, and our grand winner once. This is Major's first tournament playing with us, I believe, and so him winning it was awesome. So hopefully for next week we'll have our reigning champion Huck who will be returning. Playing against, and we'll see if Major comes back and tries to defend his title again. But some great matches today. I'm really glad of the players we got to watch. Got some awesome ZVZs, PvP, and of course TVZ, and just Terran kind of outworking the Zerg player with those Liberators and those Widow Mines. The Widow Mines was the deciding factor in this matches today. I think the Widow Mines saved the day massively.
Yeah. I think the Liberator was also like the tilt-in factor. Like the Widow Mines might have done the damage, but mentally, I think the Liberators as well just put them into tilt mode and made them all in.
Liberators are so hard to deal with.
They are
beyond annoying, and that's just I'm a Zerg player. Sorry, but Liberators are annoying.
They're so tough. Like if you don't have the right requirements, like it's brutal. Like your work is just seems just pop. Yep. Even when you're commentating, like you feel so bad sometimes when they just try. The fact
that the Liberator took out a Ravager with 2 hits, I'm like, okay, guy, like there's just no. But it is what it is. That is the game, and Major takes it 3-1 in our grand finals. So I think we'll be closing off. We don't have any player interviews, unfortunately.
Yep.
Just want to thank everyone again. Just quick shout out to everyone that's been watching the chat. We appreciate you all. Damon Knight, of course, and Matcherino for supporting the channel. We thank you guys very much. If you guys haven't yet, it's 100% free to you. Just log into Matcherino and click like donate. Use the promotion code Filthy7 and you get like a free donation. It's pretty much saying, yes, I support this channel. Matcherino, I'm a supporter of this channel. It's completely free to you. So go and support it. Support this channel. We appreciate it very much. Follow the channel. Follow all of us. Whatever you need to do, support the channel.
Yeah. I was going to say as well, of course, to follow us directly, guys. We have, of course, Filthy Rake, aka Damon, who is hosting and funding these tournaments. You can go follow him at Damon. Oh, it's Damon_Knight, I believe. Of course, for my co-caster, you can follow Draven. No, sorry, it's Damon Knight. So there's no underscore there. And for Draven, of course, you can follow him at Draven_Ryan. Myself, of course, on Twitter is just Pee Dude, no spaces, nothing like that. So you can do that and follow us, because we host and cast tournaments on different streams. Like in 7 hours time, I have to cast the Dinnet Invitational. Like in 7 hours. I know, right? That's gonna be fun.
1 a.m. your time, no big deal.
No, 6 a.m. my time.
Oh.
Yeah, 6 a.m.
That passion.
I know, right? So that's gonna be fun. But yeah, guys, so find out what we're up to all over the place, and thank you for, of course, watching. We'll see you next week. I believe that's it then, unless Damon, the voice behind it all, wants to say something. All right, cool. So thank you, guys. Take care and have a great night. Good luck. Have fun.
Red Lobster's Lobster Fest is back, so come try the largest variety of lobster dishes